Now, I don't know about some of you, but I'm sure many of you vaguely remember this show. You'll probably be like, oh wait, isn't that the Fetish Fuel show? That was like DeviantArt, but an actual cartoon? And it's making a comeback? Whoa! Time for more fetish to be delivered, baby! Alright, in today's video we're going to be talking about Charlie's Angels, the animated series, otherwise known as Totally Spies. Growing up with this show, some of you may assume that this is some seinen anime about three teenage girls who are forced to work for a spy organization run by this creepy-looking Charlie wannabe. The plot may be somewhat correct, but this show wasn't made in Japan, so it isn't really qualified as an anime, unless you define anime as animation in general, which is what actual Japanese people do, you stinking little weebs. It isn't made in the US either, despite being set in the country. In fact, it was made in France by Marathon Media. I know, right? A cheesy name for an animation studio. Basically, it was created by these two Frenchmen, Vincent Chalvon Demercé and David Michel. If both of you are watching this, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your names properly. I don't speak French fluently. Not just that though, for seasons 3 to 5, Canadian company Image Entertainment Corporation was also involved in the production of the series. No wonder it's so good. France and Canada are home to some of the best cartoons in my opinion. Take that, America! Now, the series is also infamously known for a bunch of fetishes, despite being a children's show. It almost feels like kid-friendly softcore porn. But nonetheless, Totally Spies is a pretty awesome animated show. So awesome that as a cartoon meant for girls, it even managed to attract guys, including me. Gotta be honest with you, I only watched a couple of episodes on the internet, as I didn't watch it on TV. I discovered this show a while after my first adventures throughout the internet when I was 9 to 10 years old, which is kind of the reason why I'm unfortunately addicted to the internet. Not to mention the fact that I discovered countless cartoons I've never watched before as well. Trust me, tons of these are obscure as fuck. For many of them I've watched the intros, but yet to actually watch the shows proper. I have sampled them, including Totally Spies, and my golly were they good. Although some of them were dog shit, not gonna lie. Anyways, the series had a smooth run from 2001 to 2008, spanning 5 seasons. As the plotline of the episodes became a bit worse, the art style progressively became better, although it's a bit confusing. For example, in season 5, there are like 3 to 4 different art styles, of which I found this one to be more anime-esque and attractive. Then they properly end the series with Totally Dunzo, with Jerry, no, not the mouse, Gerald Lewis supposedly retiring, and then the spy journey of Alex, Clover, and Sam come to an end. But then they decided to revive the series in 2013 with season 6, which was a bit boring to be honest. They went on hiatus again after the end of the 6th season in 2014 and began focusing on other projects, such as Lolly Rock, which was meh. I barely watched it, so I guess it's okay. Marathon Media produced other cartoons. Well, obviously they did, but especially including Martin Mystery and Team Galaxy, which I think are in the same universe because look at their art styles, it's exactly the same as Totally Spies. The former even had a crossover with the Spies. Oh, and after the first run of Totally Spies ended, the company made a spin-off series titled The Amazing Spies premiered in 2009, which is also pretty good in my opinion. Which means more fetishes. Woo! Dog, that was cringe. In the same year, a prequel movie was released titled Totally Spies the Movie, which showcased how the spies met each other in the fictionalized twin of Beverly Hills in California, which was where the show itself normally took place until season 5. I guess pop culture is too obsessed with California, huh? Not just that, it also shows how Jerry decided it was a good fucking idea to abduct those three and turn them into spies. Yeah, I think I gotta call the FBI and Child Protective Services right there. Hello? So, I am here to inform you that I am witnessing something that you might have to deal with. Yes. Yes, sir. Okay. My pleasure. My pleasure. Have a good day. Welp, looks like you're in hot water, Gerald Lewis. Anyways, let's fast forward to 2022. The creator of Miraculous, Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, Thomas S. Struck, I'm sorry man, I have no clue how to pronounce your name, who worked for Totally Spies before, announced that the 7th season of the show is in the making. Looks like everything from the 2000s is coming back at this point. Frutiger Arrow, flared jeans, what else not? What the hell have they done to Clover? Oh, they changed it back? That's cool. So originally it was supposed to come out last year, but for some reason they decided to delay it to this year. The new season looks hella bizarre, also kind of ugly in my opinion. Now before y'all send me hate, let me explain. It doesn't have that anime-esque aesthetic anymore like it used to have. It's nothing different from any other European cartoon at this point. At least it's not as bad as Girls of Olympus, an Italian cartoon which came out quite recently, whose animation is god-awful. Pretty much on the same level as Dino Froze. Gotta be honest, any modern cartoon coming out of Mondo Media... No, not the creators of Happy Tree Friends. They're really good. Any modern cartoon coming out of Mondo TV, that's a different thing, has unsettling animation and frame rate. Now I can't say they're bad, as I haven't really watched them, but these factors aren't really satisfactory in my opinion. The character designs are kinda ugly too. They're just not for me. The titles of the shows sound like hilariously cheap bootlegs as well. Now Banijay, the owners of the now defunct Marathon Media, which is now Banijay Kids and Family, decided to ruin Totally Spies as well. What used to be appealing to the eye and unique turned into ugly, shady-looking average European cartoon with garbage character designs. And they decided to completely reboot it too, although I expected them to keep the ongoing plot forward, but still. No! They left a damn cliffhanger in season 6! I need to see them graduate from Malibu University, like, come on! Okay, now let's look deep into season 7. Apparently they're replacing Jerry with his daughter, Zerlina, who we had no fucking idea about. And then who the fuck are these people? Where did they come from? Besides, according to some sources, they're being held back to high school after being exiled to a new city. Not really, but I just decided to exaggerate a little bit. Because I love joking around sometimes. Maybe that's what they got after skipping a bunch of classes and being sent to countless random missions. Such as finding out how these hot models look hideous now, fighting this giant-ass fucking robot, exploring mini North Korea for teenagers dressed like it's the damn 50s, taking this grandma down who was smashable in her youth, taking this extremist wipeout clone off the air for being too dangerous for TV, fighting ladies in bell-bottoms, contacting aliens in Mars, stealing the beard to wheel from Egypt and Sudan, explore the Big Rigs universe and drive inside a huge-ass truck backwards, venturing into the fucking unknown and insanely fast as shit infinite light speed and finding out how awesome this game is. Then going to the town with no name and then go back inside the train, shooting a kid too and then saying, "My name's not Shane, kid." And as the train flies into space, the words "the end" roll and flash like it's this damn Star Wars movie. And are those Mandy Barbie dolls? Like, my god, give me a break. But then they announced that it will be set in a university in Singapore. That's cool, I guess. But hold on, why abruptly change the location? And then here's the biggest disappointment. Even if the original French voice actresses of the Spies are returning, their English counterparts are not. So I'm kinda scared if the Spies happen to sound horrible in the next season, at least in the English dub. It's just my opinion, but I kinda prefer the season 1 and 2 English voices of Alex and Jerry. I just found them to be more appealing and easier to hear. Also, apparently there's going to be a crossover with Martin Mystery, again, this time with all the major characters, as well as with Team Galaxy. That sounds nice. And besides, hopefully they bring Brittany back, she's just awesome. An animatic was later released on Twitter of one of the episodes of season 7. I also got tons of info about it on the platform from the account Cult of Alex. Really cool name. Then it was finally announced that the series will officially premiere in France on GUI on May 12th, which happens to be the same date as the release of the 4th season of Demon Slayer, which I'm dying for right now. They'll also release novels, which is kinda lame in my opinion. Cause why read the damn novel if you know the plot already? That's like watching the anime first, then reading the original manga. It just kinda spoils the mood. They're also killing off the iconic flower from the logo. No! No! Hopefully they still retain the gadgets. Then again, I don't know if the plot would be kind of mediocre like season 6, but I wish the best for them. Oh, and in case you're wondering, no, I am not gay. I just so happen to enjoy some girly shows sometimes. That's all for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys when I have the opportunity to do so. And please do consider subscribing as I'm going to be reaching 3K subs in no time. Thank you in advance, and peace.